I've seen a lot of people online in the past day or so talk about Anita Sarkeesian, and I just want to say that I need a buff woman to beat the shit out of me, but that's not that important. What is important right now is probably just one of the most ridiculous outrages at a game that you could possibly conceive of. And I know I've probably said this multiple times throughout the 4 or 5 months that this channel has existed, but this is actually like laughably bad. It is so hilarious why people are getting mad at a game that it's just ridiculous. So the game that is in the public hatred zeitgeist for a bunch of fucking turbo losers in their mother's basements right now is Slay the Spire 2. Not because they did anything racist or anything, not because there's like a terrible evil Easter egg on it, not because they made the game pay to win or anything. It's because a single person's name appeared in the credits of the game that made people go turbo nuclear mad at the game that they're just like raging at it. So the name that I want to talk about and the person I want to talk about is what I said at the start of the video, Anita Sarkeesian. I don't know who the hell this person was or why it's even conceivably possible that someone could, like, you know, make some people hate bomb and hate on Slay the Spire 2 and ask for like a bunch of different refunds. I did my research on the Wikipedia page, and obviously, you know, people are going to say this is the most unreliable source of all time, but like people check it, so here we go. But basically what she is she's like a feminist media critic, and the thing that made her like targeted for a bunch of harassment was like a Kickstarter project she did in 2012, by the way, to fund the Tropes versus Women in Video Game series. And the backlash, the hatred that she got from this Kickstarter campaign included rape and death threats, hacking of websites and social media, as well as someone created a browser game called Beat Up Anita Sarkeesian, which prompted players to bloody a picture of Sarkeesian by clicking the mouse. All because she wanted to make a series of YouTube videos, which she started a Kickstarter for, about, you know, tropes versus women in video games. Obviously, we know, all of us, as mature individuals, mature adults, that women have not historically been the best represented in games and all that type of stuff. It needed to be discussed, especially 14 years ago. But of course, this like made her get really mad by a bunch of like turbo greasy gamers in their basements who were just slipping and sliding around with their grease rolls and fat all along their basement. And this was like a big issue 14 years ago. And this is an issue I had legitimately never heard of. I assumed it's probably under the umbrella of like Gamergate and all that bullshit. Her name was found in the credits of Slay the Spire 2. Don't know how it took 2 months for this to finally be discovered, but this is what a lot of people are getting mad about, and you're just going to see some of the most ridiculous and overblown overreactions of all time. And a lot of this is going to be through quote retweets, just because I was liking those more than like the actual hate tweets. So we're gonna go through this together. And basically, this person right here, this Camby guy right here, makes a good point about what you're going to see, and we also have a returning character, which is really fun. But Camby says, this opened my eyes. It's not just some weirdos on Twitter. It's a real derangement system that touches a significant part of the whole gaming community. Concerning, we're all soaked in politics that a single line in the credits is more important than the game itself, which is, you know, alluding to the fact that people are only getting mad because of Anita Sarkeesian's name showing up in the credits of Slay the Spire 2. And this Jared of Gunia guy, who I talked about like 3 days ago or some shit, is talking about this and just showing a bunch of angry reviews of people who are leaving comments and reviews on Slay the Spire. Really funny. 0.1 hours, 1.7. This guy's a lot. But it's just crazy to me how so many people are getting mad at the fact that a single person is involved in this type of game. It's absolutely crazy. This is a really funny post and really funny framing of just gaming analyst and developer George Torch Games on Anita Sarkeesian being listed as a consultant in Slay the Spire 2. Disappointing. The question is, why would the dev team have to hire an activist for an already successful formula? I mean, a sequel to one of the most popular deck builders ever is far from needing an activist to tell them what to do. Why on earth would they hire her? So I guess this George Torch Game is a trusted analyst and game developer that has some sort of valuable opinion on Anita Sarkeesian's involvement in the game. A lot of people are mad. We got a big quote retweet from Femboy Military Fight Sims, and they bring up a good point saying, if I was a game dev, I would find a random woke person to pay them a little bit of money to be in the credits and literally do nothing, just so the game would naturally repel these people. Of course, quote retweeting to someone who is trying to get a refund request for Slay the Spire 2. Anita Sarkeesian in the credits. Yeah, no, fuck off and die. It's actually just such a, it's legitimately a line of text, and it's crazy that people are getting this mad. Another one, you love the scene indeed, just recent reviews mostly negative. Once again, quote retweet calling them pathetic. Weird that people are celebrating it. This guy also, Alberto Pizzaola, responded to Gerald of Gunia as well, in case you were wondering. And then this guy right here brings up a good point. You know, he quote retweets to the fandom post, like stupid fucking tweet one. But he asked a good question. If the quality of a game is negatively affected by consultants like Anita Sarkeesian, then if a game is good, don't you have to give her credit too? Slay the Spire 2 was literally one of the biggest games on Steam this year, and she consulted on it after all. Do you think they realized their hypocrisy was just exposed? And then FYI, don't come to me for defending her. I can't stand her as much as the next person, but the anti-woke just exposed a huge flaw in their logic here. So like, he brings up a massive good point that not a single one of the people who are getting mad about this will ever fucking acknowledge, is that the game was critically acclaimed. People viewed it as one of the best games that would come out this year, potentially game of the year, because they really didn't fuck up anything at all about the really good formula of Slay the Spire 2. And it's just, once again, I would love for them to understand hypocrisy, but I legitimately do not think a single avenue possibly you can think of that they will understand that they're being hypocritical. You know, back to this Mamas guy, fuck off and die. Tours gatekeep it, we're good. You know, a lot of people aren't really mad about the fact that like they're losing a bunch of these losers. Funny fact about his Mamas account, he's one of the LGB without the TQ type of people. Wow, shocker, what the fuck? This Ramis guy came back to it, and I guess they're comparing the Slay the Spire Anita Sarkeesian involvement to the Holocaust, where this Arun Darklord said Slay the Spire 2 is we're absolutely taking since people learned they worked with Anita Sarkeesian. Good. These devs deserve to lose everything for that. And someone asked, you know, Imperial Stoic responded, lose everything? No. What? How does Mr. Art Designer deserve to lose his paycheck after this? Is the pushback real and deserved? Yes. Sure. I don't know why this guy liked it. Lose everything? Are you insane? This guy said, Mr. Art Designer should have leaked it anonymously before release and quit. That's what an honorable person would do. Mr. Art Designer is the game equivalent of a German who could smell the burning flesh from the camp next door and kept quiet. What the fuck are we doing? Why are we calling the game devs Nazis? What the fuck? This person brings up a good summary once again. Slay the Spire 2, one of the most successful indie games in history. They discover Anita Sarkeesian's name in the game. People who praise the game now try to cancel it for being woke. Hypocrisy again, but we're not going to see anyone who is actually mad call this out. This tweet right here is like kind of something I mentioned in the beginning, and it is kind of funny, where it just says, I think it's funny that it took them 2 months to discover a name that was explicitly right there in the credits because they can't read. And like, either A, they were LARPing and they never fucking finished the game because it was too difficult, or B, they once again just didn't ever read the credits because it was visibly available for them since the game was released. So like, I legitimately have no fucking idea who Anita Sarkeesian is. I literally just discovered who she was today when I was looking at all the people get mad. And like, I think the biggest no-no is that she's like really fucking annoying. But like, people getting mad at the game for being like this woke thing when they literally were just like critically acclaiming it for being the game of the year and fucking the biggest thing they've ever seen in their entire life is absolutely stupid. And another fun fact for anyone who like tries to say like, oh, you're just a Slay the Spire fanboy, you're putting on your white knight armor and trying to defend the game that you love. I have not played a single hour of Slay the Spire 1 or 2 in my entire life. The game looks absolutely fucking boring to me, and I've legitimately no desire in any capacity to play the game. But I think it's more insane that people are getting mad because there's a single person listening to the credits who is just kind of really fucking annoying, and they're just calling it like, you know, the death of anti-woke stuff, and that we need to just tank the reviews of the game to show them that we real gamers in our basements know what we want and what is good, even though we were legitimately just praising it like 3 weeks ago as being the game to save games. But yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about. Shocking once again. Gamers are mad that women. That's all I gotta say for today. So thank you for watching. Goodbye.